What is up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be spectating random players in Fortnite Zero Build, going over what I think they do well, what they could do differently, and just the state of the game right now. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, find it helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more. Of the new sprites, which one do you think is best? The ones that were added in the most recent update. And if you guys would like to use my code in the shop when getting anything, it is EvolvedJake, just like my channel name is, and is underneath the webcam at all times. So we can try going Sinister Strip. This game, I think there should be a decent amount of people going here. I also am wearing the 0 point sprite and a big flashy skin in hopes that other people kind of saw me in the lobby and then follow me down to this POI. That way we have a good amount of players landing on us, trying to get this max level 0 point sprite. Seems like definitely a solid amount of players here. This guy's from Chapter 1, Season 3. Actually, might be a drone. I don't know. You got this. Thank you. You're on board with Sergeant Mason. Hopefully. Okay. If I can, like, if you don't... Come on, man. If you don't end up spectating them before... before it actually lets you spectate them, if they die, then you don't get to see them. He actually dropped the 0 point sprite, so I guess he already had that one. I don't know what his loot is. Once these barrels, I think there's a lot more loot out there. I do agree though that the boss sprite, this was of the ones that was added, I think this is definitely one of the better ones. This gives you more shield and more health. I agree that this would be better than the 0 point sprite. The 0 point sprite is really sought after because it's rare, but the effect it has, I feel like, is just like solid. It's a fine effect, but it's not as impactful, I feel like, as some of the other ones. And so I don't mind him dropping it at all for the boss sprite. We'll see if he tries to free the dog, because if you free the dog, you can get a legendary lancehead pistol and a chance to get the mythic lancehead pistol. The lancehead pistol is actually an incredibly good weapon. Recently, the ranger pistol was nerfed. The amount they nerfed it, I think, was pretty insignificant. I don't think it really affects things too much. But had the nerf actually been a big deal, like if they nerfed the ranger pistol into the ground, I think the lancehead pistol actually would have taken over as like kind of the main mid-range, close-range spray weapon. Not the greatest start to the fight, but he's going to get the kill anyways. The amount of shots he hit on the guy while they were in the air did not seem... it didn't seem good. But luckily for him, the other player also didn't hit a shotgun shot or anything, I don't think. So, evened out as far as both players having not the best aim in that moment. Interesting to see what he does. He's been trying to get over here. He's not full health yet, and he could buy heals at the vending machines back there. Could buy a chug jug, or he could go to the motel in front of him and also buy a chug jug. There is shock rocks that were added in the most recent update, and this is an item that you can find just from looting, but also you can find them on the ground over here around the 0 point. And so anytime you're coming through this area, I think you definitely want to go consume one of the shock rocks that are on the ground and make sure you get the charges. And it's just all in this entire area. I found plenty of them. Relooting the motel. There's the flex. I loved the flex in Chapter 7 Season 1, but for this season so far, I've not been the biggest fan of it. Unfortunate timing on the vending, but that's an AI, so he's going to be fine here. There's no pressure. I could tell just by the way they were shooting. Like the way the bots kind of shoot their gun, the pattern they shoot is not always like how real players shoot. Especially the burst. I feel like the bots shoot the burst way slower than actual players. We'll see if he gets any charges now. No. Maybe he doesn't like the shock rocks, but I think they're pretty good. And since you can get them right there without really, like, you know, taking an inventory slot or anything, there's no downside to it. He's making his way towards Battle Woods, I think. I would not want to come into this POI in the mid game. I don't want to come to this POI ever, period. But any sort of large POI with like so much verticality and so many buildings like this, going into it late in the game and just trying to, like, I don't know, like sift through loot or find people, I feel like isn't the greatest, because there's so many different places where people could be, and you don't really have like the context of how the place has been playing out thus far. Which I think really matters for those type of places. Interesting. I thought this was an AI as well, I'm not gonna lie. This triple barrel shotgun, or the extending focus, was recently buffed. I think of the weapon changes in the most recent update, it has the most noticeable changes. I probably still prefer the pump, but I think this is like definitively my second favorite shotgun at this point so far. Got a rift. What if he's just gonna use this and then rift back to the 0 point, and then like maybe go in this area? I guess he could just rift and go there himself though. Don't know. This is like the point in the game where things get kind of weird. And I feel like you just kind of look for other people fighting the third party, or maybe people going for the extractors. You could call the extractor in yourself and like see if that, you know, brings some people over. Like right here, there's somebody using an extraction station right now. But I feel like the mid game in general is like a very kind of dead aspect of the game now. And that's a problem that I feel like every BR kind of suffers from. Last season, it felt like there wasn't really a mid game because of the rivalry system. Like you just farm rivalries all game, and then what do you know, the match is over. Interested to see if he takes this. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I think the Ranger pistol is still just like the best weapon in the game, or definitely one of them. And I would definitely rather have that than the flex. More overdrives here. Okay. Oof. That guy down there probably doesn't know he's up here because of the amount of like, you know, yeah, exactly. He's gonna get a free beam. Because of the amount of stuff that just went on for him, you know, he's driving around in a car, and then he's fighting somebody up there. He probably didn't realize that somebody had stepped up from the other side. And so now he's going to get all this loot basically for free. That's like the freest elimination of his life. It's just timing. And like coming over to third party, the extraction station, that's definitely something that can happen where you just get blessed timing like that. And the way he did third party the extraction station, I think was really good, because he did it from that like safer like area, you know, like he just was on the tower. And if absolutely nothing was going on, the people around him probably would know for certain that he's there, because it does make noise. But with like the chaos of the extracting and other people in the area and just the fighting going on, he was probably always going to be able to just like sneak there, up there undetected, and then, you know, capitalize on whatever timing he gets. There was just somebody running out of this ice cream shop. Oh, they hit hard. He's got the shock rocks though, and so he's able to like buy more time. The shock rocks just like absolutely saved him, I think. He's weak. If this player chases, this can get dicey. And the Blueberry Fizz is good for healing. Or sorry, it's good because like it gives you the unlimited slap, and you know, the movement aspect of it is good. But as far as healing speed goes, it feels so slow to me now compared to like a lot of the heals we have. I don't know if I've just been like spoiled by like recent overpowered heals or what, but if the enemy that had like done that much damage to him chased him a bit better, I think that probably could have been the end of his game. He was only at 40 health, but I don't know if that person didn't have shockwaves, didn't have overdrives, or what. But it didn't seem like they really made any attempt to chase. But the shock rocks absolutely saved his life there. Just being able to jump up and like completely throw that opponent off and kind of break their camera is why he's alive. Even with that going for him, he still only escaped with like 35 HP, I think, at the lowest. But imagine if he didn't have the shock rocks there. That's going to be the enemy that just damaged him. And if I was in this situation, I would really want to eliminate this player. If I fight somebody and they, you know, almost eliminate me, or like the fight is good, I don't want to just let that person go and then get caught off guard by them again. Because the first fight was really just like really good timing for the first player. And I think that was the one that he was previously, that like, you know, that happened to him at Frosty. Could have been a different player maybe, because that skin is so common, but just in general. If you identify somebody as a threat, you want to get them out of the game, because someone who's a good player or someone who's like a threat in the lobby, you know, getting timing on you, it might be all she wrote, especially this season. Like the time to kill this season is incredibly fast. And so just a minuscule amount of bad timing can completely cost you. We saw it almost just happen there. But now he has like the, you know, ideal loadout going. He has a mythic shotgun, he has a good healing item, he has double overdrives, and he has a ranger pistol. I think something like this is what you want to have most of the time. Maybe, you know, you run single slot of mobility and run something like the hunting rifle, but high rarity shotgun and ranger pistol, I think definitely you want those in your inventory guaranteed. Takes a good amount of damage here. Does this person push? They're pushing with the shock rocks, And so when you do 3 shock rock jumps in a row, you get incredibly high on the third one. And then you can kind of land on people, and a lot of times they get no audio for you landing on them, and so you can catch them off guard. But the person that was doing it there, he's not going to catch anybody off guard because this guy's just watching him do it. So I think using a shockwave or using an overdrive to push there would have been much better than the shock rocks, but maybe they just didn't have any mobility. That is something I was going to touch on with him having 2 sets of overdrives. The spawn rate of overdrives feels very bad at the moment. There's a fight going on. He's going to just want to third party this. It seems like the person he's chasing doesn't know he's here. And so this flamingo is going to get beamed in the back. They're probably going to be able to get away, though, because they did just, you know, use all their shock rocks. They're going to be able to create, like, a bit of separation and then maybe buy more time. But with the most recent update, there was so many items added to the loot pool that it feels like the spawn rate of overdrive grenades is absolutely terrible. And so if you do get in a situation where, like, you have 2 stacks going and, like, I feel like that is... like a win condition at this point. When I have 2 sets of overdrives, I'm like, let's go. Things are going perfect. I'm happy. Like, more so than just weapon rarity. This is going to be a kill. This is that timing I was talking about. Third partying a fight. You have the ranger pistol. You hit your shots. The game is over for that player. Getting third party. The person that, you know, he previously knocked is probably going to be able to self-revive. Normally, they wouldn't, but this person getting involved is going to allow them to self-res. And this flamingo is once again just pushing with the... shock rock effect, and it ends up working out there. But I feel like, again, it can work as a push. Oh, he's getting shocked out of the bush, and this probably wraps for him. It can work as a push, but I think it's best as like a when they don't know you're there. If you're in a 1v1 and they know where you are already, and then you just do it right in their face, I feel like it doesn't work as well as when you're using it as like a surprise. I think the real reason why this flamingo was able to win that fight was having the Maven in that style of fight and a HP advantage was just like really hard to come back from. I believe the first player missed their shots as well. But this is just an incredibly... This guy needs to let this pig go, I think. He's getting third partied. There was somebody else shocking around here. Maybe he survives. Okay, he probably gets away. I don't know. Okay, so that's something that can... this is going to be another third party, I think. Or maybe that shock was the one that the guy just threw before he died. Okay, that's something that can really cost you this season. Again, like I said, timing is incredibly... impactful, and this season often divulges into fights like that where it's just incredibly chaotic and it's like a chain third party situation, and then whichever player just comes alive from it is probably going to win the fight, or probably going to win the game, and the player that comes alive from it is probably going to be the final person to get involved. And so that flamingo we were watching was heavy chasing that pig, and I don't think they had really done that much damage to them, but they were like very intent on eliminating that pig, and we could hear this person shockwaving around them. Like, I knew that flamingo was getting third partied. And so in that situation, if you're about to get third partied and you're over chasing somebody that's just running from you, I think it's best to just let that person run, let them get away, and then hide or something, or try to deal with the third party. You want to get to some sort of defendable position. Like that bush was right there. If instead of eliminating the pig, he just let the pig go and then got in that bush, I think he would have been in a better spot to deal with this 11. And... I feel like letting the pig go there isn't the worst thing to do, because the pig hadn't really shown much. Like I said, I don't even think they'd really taken damage and they were just full running. And so I would be more down to let that player escape than like over focus on eliminating them and then just getting third partied. If he had the pig like incredibly one shot, then I can kind of see, you know, being more invested in that kill or expecting to get that kill like instantly, you know. But I believe he shot like 3 or 4 Mythic Maven shots, which not only is, you know, using time and giving this 11 more time to third party, but it also means his Maven isn't going to be loaded when the fight ends up happening. And when you are in those situations, you need to just immediately get a kill and get out. Like these, I cannot stress how much of just like a chain third party fest this season is. And you know, you can be greedy for loot, you can be greedy for kills, and it can work out sometimes, but a lot of times you just want to get your kill, get out maybe, or don't like full leave, but kind of retreat somewhat to like a more defendable position and assess the surroundings and then go from there. And the bushes are really good for that. If you've been fighting for a bit, just getting to a bush in the area and then kind of seeing what's happening now, I think can help a lot. This is just me a, you know, hunting rifle trade fight. There's 3 opponents remaining. This would be a situation where this 11 is going to be pretty invested on this kill because she's hit her a lot with the hunting. She knows this person's going to be pretty weak, or they should be pretty weak at least, but they have had a lot of time to heal. The fact that you can heal while moving means... I think I might have just seen them by them hedges. The fact that you can move while healing means that this person isn't like that inconvenienced by having to like relocate as well. This zone kind of sucks. You want to get to here, but this mountain is really exposed. This building is okay, but it's one of the few buildings in zone, so you probably just get chained there. Like, this is a really bad zone, and this is a zone where, like, having bunkers would probably be really helpful. I don't normally carry bunkers, but that bush would probably be a good place to be. Like, it's just so open here, and again, with how this season plays, this is probably going to be a situation where two people fight, somebody hops on that fight, and then the final player hops on that player hopping on that fight, and then the game is over. Like, this is the most third-party centric season of Fortnite I think we've ever had. He's going to get ahead of zone here and just try to play this building. But it's going to be hard for him to hold anybody. I guess he does have the hunting rifle, so that works. But with this amount of people alive, a problem that can happen is he gets too invested on one kill and like holding that person from getting in. And then like the other people slip past him and catch him off guard. Someone just shockwave near him to the left, I think. Or overdrived. There's a guy, but I'm pretty sure there's somebody that just got behind him. Yep. Getting that chest allowed this person to get timing on him. They missed the hunting rifle shot, so it's okay. But in a world where that person just headshot snipes the 11, they're dead because they wanted to get a chest in the end game. He only has one ice cream cone as his heal. And this is one of the like unfortunate aspects of the ice cream cone. If you only have one, is like you want to hold it for a special moment. Because what the ice cream cone... Oh my gosh, eat that, please. Please eat it. Is he going to get a med kit? Oh, okay. But what the ice cream cone does is it gives you 100 health and 100 shield instantly. And so people want to hold this for a special moment. But if it's your only heal, it feels bad to use for something like this where the person just made you waste your only heal off stink damage. There's a mending machine here, so he's going to go ahead and buy a chug jug probably. Yep. I did not want to do that. Someone's healing in storm. Alright, my bad. My triggers on my controller are so sensitive, so sometimes when I just set it on my lap, it activates one of them and it swaps players. But like I said, he's going to go to the mending and buy a chug jug. We almost saw the timing just completely ruin him, though. Like, not being aware that that person had overdrive near him just almost completely cost him. Even with the person missing their opening shot. But you just can't really make any mistakes and as far as, like, awareness or timing goes this season with the hunting in the game. Like, I got a bunker up there. This is a zone where you want to just kind of do nothing and wait until it moves. He is playing with fire here. Like, I would want to just be in this building right now. You just exist, you wait until zone forces this guy out, and then you're chilling. Once again, just has to waste needless white health damage. If he had initially kind of came and just sat in this bottom part, I think things would have went better for him. Luckily, he has a chug jug now, so he can easily top off on white health. This guy's just going to pad his own. And he has not the greatest weapon for shooting this person out of the sky. Like I said earlier, the range on the flex is just kind of mid now. And so you're not going to get as much damage doing this as you would with something like the Ranger pistol. They're in this bush. This is a bad fight. He wasted one shot. He shockwaved them out of zone. That's perfect. He hits a no-scope. There's another guy in this bush, though. I think, like I said, everyone just third parties. This person doesn't seem the greatest. They seem much worse than that World Cup skin. But things were going terrible for this 11. She has this triple barrel shotgun and she missed her opening shot, and the other guy in the bush had a Maven. Just swapping to the overdrive there and throwing it and trying to get out, I think was actually an incredible play. If they just committed to that fight and stayed in it, because like it's weird to try to reset when the opponent's in your face like that. But I think had they done that, they would have lost the game there. I would be focusing this person right now. It's a 1v1v1. We've seen that the other player isn't that great. And so the World Cup skin is like public enemy #1 to me in this situation. That other person could be wrapping around behind him maybe, though, I think. I don't know the terrain of this area too well. Zone pulled far again. But you're, like, my main priority here would just be getting timing on this lady. Not only have they seemed decent, but also they have the stink hunting rifle, which is just an incredibly annoying weapon. Like, I would want this person out of the game. And we've already seen this 11 kind of get, like, harassed by the stink of it. Just gonna slide down. He probably got no audio for this. Like, the audio range is just, it's terrible now. Not only for visual audio, but just regular audio as well. Seems pretty bad just all the time now. And so I feel like moments like this where this 11 sneaks past are more likely to work. It really is just going to come down to this first shot timing. If she can hit a body shot, fly at this person, and then just get them out of the game before the other person is able to third party, that is what you would want most. This is not what you would want. The other person ended up in a spot she didn't know. And now she just got fried in the back. She's pinched between them. She has to kind of just take this fight. Perfect. Just shockwave away, reset, heal. Again, we've seen that this player isn't that great. All you need to do is not throw right here and you're chilling. Gonna chow it. Oh no. That ice cream would be great right about now, right? It's good shots. They're both basically one shot to each other. No. I think she should have had the shotgun out there. That's unfortunate. I was kind of rooting for her there. I think... I don't know what Storm was doing. Maybe Storm was forcing her off that mountain. But I think her full sending at this Calamity like she did wasn't the greatest play. I think she could have backed up and healed a little bit more. Maybe looked for a hunting rifle shot. And then flew off it because of that. But just going dry with no tags and not being full HP, you just make it winnable for this person. And like I said, the previous fight they had made it seem like this Calamity wasn't the greatest. I think the hard part was navigating being pinched and getting rid of the World Cup skin. And she actually did both those well. She just backed up in the Storm, healed a little bit. Like, she has the Chug Jug. The Fortnite Storm doesn't just insta-kill you. So she can play Storm there, get an unsuspecting headshot snipe on the World Cup skin, and then try to play the final 1v1. And I thought that they were going to win it. It looked like they were going to shockwave to cover, heal up with the Chug, and then just, you know, take that fight from full HP, look for another hunting rifle shot, and then get the win. But unfortunately, it didn't go her way. But that is going to be it for this video. The start and was not that great. But, like, once we got into those chaotic mid-game fights, I think you could really see how just, like, very minor decisions can just be incredibly drastic for the season. Just small milliseconds of timing is completely make or break. But you guys found this to be helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more. Let me know down in the comments below which of the new sprites is your favorite. I think mine is definitely the boss sprite, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.